Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest on the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today's guest is Aaron Abelman, and he is an award-winning rapper, producer, best-selling author, and a peacepreneur. Aaron, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Man, I'm so excited to have you on. What a great topic, the art and science of loving kindness. First time I ever got to use the word peacepreneur on the show for sure, maybe ever, so we're going to get into all of that. But Aaron, every episode we start the same with what we like to call our Mission Matters Minute. So Aaron, at Mission Matters, our aim and our goal is to amplify stories for entrepreneurs, executives, and experts. That's what we do. Aaron, what mission matters to you?
Well, to me, mission is a foundational premise for everything that I do. I am always thinking about the why behind every connection, every collaboration, every partnership. Essentially, everything that I do is in service to the next 7 generations and beyond. I'm here as part of a continuum of the gifts and blessings and sacrifices that my ancestors made and all of the, those that are yet to come in the future. My daughter's generation, she's 7, and she's probably the most visceral mission that I carry in terms of why I do the work that I do.
Amazing. Love bringing mission-based individuals on the line to share why they do what they do, and just let's get into it. So first off, peacepreneur. Where'd you come up with that title, that moniker? I love it.
Yeah, well, I think entrepreneurship and the private sector is really leading right now in impact. And, we're now seeing the purpose economy bigger than the digital economy. It is a massive sort of sea change in the way in which businesses are operating, from every aspect of what they're doing. And I think that using business as a force for good is really something that I've always been very passionate about. I think that, everything from the climate crisis to, really any issue that you could look at, entrepreneurs using their innovation and approach to solving those problems with their businesses is something that I'm really inspired by. And given the state of the world right now with wars and rumors of wars going on and the impacts of destabilized, regressive, and extremist politics, we need to center the importance of peace, it's not even as much just peace. To me, it's about human values. It's about having a kind of basic decency and ethical framework for how we do business, how we govern. So yeah, whether it's the public or the private sector, I think we need more peacepreneurs, we need more ecopreneurs, we need, folks of, any area of focus really leveraging their platform for good.
It's great. I want to jump around a little bit here. Rapper, producer, music, authors, what fuels your creativity?
Yeah, well, I fancy myself a polymath, so I see everything as having art and science embedded in it, whether it's explicitly in artistic craft. I grew up studying particularly and was passionate about storytelling. And as I, was a teenager and seeing just a lot of the challenges in my community, the struggles that we had as young kids growing up in America, one of the things that I really found helpful was the power of the arts and creativity as a way to express myself and talk about the state of things. And, and I got deeply into hip hop. I got really into reading books. I was obsessed with, the street and the library simultaneously. And I think that it was a lot of that formative passion for, the stories of the world, whether they are expressed in books or in paintings or in music or, in the fashion or the cultures that, there's many ways in which culture is expressed. And I think, that ultimately our cultures of the world are the carriers of our consciousness, our human consciousness. And ultimately, I just love that creativity can carry you into almost any dimension of life as a framework for how to see and how to, express life itself.
I love this, and I want to go further. So when we think about creativity, when we think about and that's why I kind of led with some of the things you've done in the arts, but I feel like in the past, there was this divide or this separation where your creativity or otherwise wasn't necessarily supposed to seep into your business
right.
life. I feel like as beings, we were kind of compartmentalized a little bit more in previous generations. And maybe it was necessary, maybe it wasn't, I don't know, but who knows? I'm not judging or commenting on that, but I feel like that was a general consensus. But now I feel like this whole concept of creativity and being able to bring that into the business world and otherwise, and it being acceptable and fueling business and being good for business, not just somebody's ego or an outlet, or not that I'm against either of those, by the way. Egos are fine by me, whatever, not judging. Outlets, great. We all need them. I'm not even judging that when I say that. I just mean now it's even just possible. And people are more open to that. What do you think that the business community or the private sector can learn from when we think about this concept of adding creativity or even creative leadership to the equation? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think it's so important because creativity and the so-called creatives of our world are those that, that we would call creative. First of all, I think everyone has an innate creativity built in. It's an ability to make connections between, first and foremost, between the right and left hemisphere of the brain. I think creatives do have an ability to make unique connections. Something we often talk about is intersectionality, the notion that every issue is actually a part of every other issue. So, for example, let's say you're working in the food business. Okay, so food is connected to energy because of having to distribute that food and transport it, et cetera. It's also connected to labor, right? Because there's a whole supply chain of work that's required. It's also connected to biodiversity and the climate and water. And so all of a sudden, something that seems so simple and very much its own vertical is actually a part of a much larger circle of connection. And to me, I think this is the necessary jump that industries need to make in order to be resilient to the speed of change that our planet is going through right now, particularly, I would say, not just, socially in terms of, the complexities of, advancements in technology and AI, et cetera, things of that nature, but also environmentally, because, ultimately every industry depends on the planet, even though we've externalized a lot of those measurements, and that data has now just starting to be integrated into triple bottom line businesses. But I think creativity is a major force for resilience. It's a way to actually approach challenges and problems by making connections and, also bringing people together. I think it's one of the most powerful ways we can communicate and market. Obviously, we're seeing that in the influencer explosion on social media, but again, creativity has application across almost every aspect of life.
Yeah, I see it too. And I think for me, the concept of even what the creator or creatives, it's just that definition has, with social media or otherwise, the amount of outlets and ways that people can express themselves. Yeah. I mean, I feel like it pushes us all forward, really. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I mean, you think about a lot of the ways in which, certain aspects of academia, right, that the things that we study have become so segmented that, you can have somebody engineering for one thing, but causing 15 other unseen problems as a result of being so myopic and specialized. And I think that it's okay to master and focus on, a very specific vertical or a specific, design, but we have to really start to see the whole circle and the ways in which everything is impacting each other. Otherwise, we're going to, like whack-a-mole, there's a problem here, and then 10 more, appear somewhere else. So we have to actually have a more cohesive and holistic approach, which is, I think, what the creative mind really serves, and why creatives do have, they'll look at the same problem through an entirely different lens. And that is very important, when you're looking at innovating or, approaching new demographics and new markets, or, tackling absolutely unprecedented challenges with regards to, we are facing such an extraordinary collapse of biodiversity. They're calling it the seventh mass extinction. And we have to, not just be innovative, but radically imaginative to meet the demand of change in this era.
It's great. Well, Aaron, I just want to say, first off, it has been a lot of fun having you on the show, learning more, even just the concept and having the conversation about like how creativity plays into business and otherwise. It's a lot of fun. It's something that I think is freeing for many that were put in a box, whether it was by themselves or, why they did it themselves, somebody else did. Who cares? I don't care. All I say is just like, live your life, right? Like, it's all good. But that being said, how do people follow you? How do they follow your work, whether it's your music, your writing, your entrepreneurial projects? How do people follow you? How do they connect?
Yeah, well, I'd love to stay in touch with this community. I know Mission Matters has an extraordinary library of content and just an extraordinary global ecosystem of leaders in business and across the world. So I'd love to explore how we can help each other. I think that this is a time of coming together, even despite how many challenges we're facing. I think we can't tackle them unless we can come together. And so, I'd love to stay in touch. You can find me at aaronableman.com. That's AARONABLEMAN.com. I am actually an ambassador for a number of global initiatives. I do a lot of brand ambassadorship, working with a great initiative called Forest Nation, which is doing regenerative agroforestry and reforestation work, really extraordinarily ethical tree planting work in partnership with indigenous communities around the world. That's forestnation.com. You can check out Global Peace Yes. Global Peace Yes is a very exciting global campaign that is setting out to inspire 1 billion people to vote yes for global peace, to walk 1 billion kilometers for global peace. There's a really ambitious initiative there. It's globalpeaceyes.org. And I was involved with Sadhguru's Save Soil initiative, which I would encourage everyone to check out, savesoil.org. Also a great campaign called genzeroaction.com. So there's a whole litany of, I just published my fourth book last year. I've got more coming. I've got music on Spotify. I'm on social media at aaron.ableman. And again, thank you so much for the opportunity to come on and connect.
Amazing. And for everybody listening, we'll definitely put some of those links in the show notes so that you can just connect with Aaron. And speaking to the audience, if this is your first time with us, hey, this is a daily show. Each and every day we're releasing new episodes, new entrepreneurs, new thought leaders, new individuals that we can all learn from. So hit that subscribe button because we don't want you to miss anything. We want you to get those notifications. And Aaron, again, thank you so much for making some time for us. Appreciate you coming on.
It's an honor. Yeah, blessings to everybody.